The wind howled through the cracked windows of the old factory in Boone, Iowa, like a ghost mourning the end of an era. Emma Carter stood in the assembly line, her hands numb from the cold and the repetitive motion of packing cardboard boxes. At 38, she had lines around her eyes that spoke of nights spent crying over bills and a daughter who asked too many questions about her daddy. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting harsh shadows on the faces of her co-workers, folks she'd known since high school, their dreams as faded as the paint on the walls. "Emma, hey!" shouted Mike Thompson, the foreman, waving her over. His voice cut through the clatter of machinery like a knife. She wiped sweat from her brow and approached, her steel-toed boots echoing on the concrete floor. "What's up, Mike?" she asked, forcing a smile. Inside, her heart pounded. Rumors had been swirling for weeks, layoffs, shutdowns. The factory, Boone's biggest employer, was the lifeblood of this small Midwest town, population just over 12,000. Without it, they'd all be ghosts. Mike's face was grim, his mustache twitching. Corporate's pulling the plug. Effective immediately. Severance is 2 weeks' pay. "I'm sorry, Em." The words hit her like a freight train. She staggered back, the world tilting. "What?" "No, Mike, I've got Lily. Rent. Bills. You know what happened to Ryan." "I know." He cut in, his voice low. "We all lost him in that accident. But it's done. Go home, pack your things." Emma's mind flashed to 2 years ago. Ryan's truck skidding on black ice on Highway 30, flipping into a ditch. The police said it was an accident, but she'd always wondered. Late nights at the factory, arguments with the boss. She shook it off. No time for ghosts now. She grabbed her coat from the locker room, ignoring the sympathetic stares. Outside, snow flurried around her beat-up Ford pickup, the engine coughing to life. Boone's Main Street blurred past, the diner with its neon sign flickering eats, the hardware store where Ryan used to buy tools, the elementary school where Lily was probably doodling in class. How would she tell her daughter? "Mommy's job is gone, but we'll be okay?" Lies. They were barely scraping by as it was. Back home, a modest 2-bedroom ranch on the edge of town, Emma slammed the door. The house smelled of stale coffee and Lily's strawberry shampoo. She collapsed on the couch, burying her face in her hands. Tears came hot and fast. Ryan's photo on the mantel stared back. Strong jaw, kind eyes, gone too soon at 36. "What now?" she whispered to the empty room. Lily burst in hours later, backpack slung over her shoulder, her 10-year-old energy filling the space. "Mom, guess what? We learned about pioneers today," Mrs. Jenkins said. Emma forced a smile, pulling her into a hug. "That's great, sweetie. How about we bake some cookies? Your dad's recipe." Baking had always been their escape. Ryan had taught her his grandma's chocolate chip secret. Extra vanilla, a pinch of sea salt. As the oven warmed, Emma's hands moved on autopilot, mixing dough while Lily chattered. The kitchen filled with warmth, pushing back the cold dread in her chest. That night, after Lily was asleep, Emma sat at the kitchen table, staring at a stack of bills. Eviction notice loomed if she didn't pay rent. She glanced at the leftover cookies, golden perfect. On a whim, she wrapped a dozen and walked next door to Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, the widow who'd lost her husband to cancer last year. "Emma, what's this?" Evelyn asked, peering through her screen door. "Just something sweet. Thought you might need it." Evelyn's eyes softened. "Come in, dear. I heard about the factory." They talked late into the night, grief, survival, the town's fading pulse. As Emma left, Evelyn pressed a 20 into her hand. "For more of those cookies. They're like a hug from heaven." The idea sparked then, faint but insistent. What if? By morning, Emma had a plan. She'd turn her kitchen into a makeshift bakery. No fancy shop. Just word of mouth, fresh baked goods delivered around Boone. It was crazy, but it beat despair. Word spread fast in a town like Boone. By week's end, orders trickled in. Muffins for the church group, pies for the VFW hall. Emma baked through the nights, flour dusting her arms like snow. Lily helped, her small hands shaping dough, giggling at the mess. But money was tight. Ingredients cost more than she anticipated. One afternoon, as she loaded her truck for deliveries, a sleek black SUV pulled up. Out stepped Jason Harlan, mid-40s, sharp suit clashing with the rural backdrop. He was new in town, rumor had it. A developer from Des Moines scouting land for some big project. Mrs. Carter? He called, flashing a smile too polished for Boone. It's Ms., she corrected, wiping her hands on her apron. Can I help you? Jason Harlan. I represent Harlan Investments. Heard about your little baking venture. Impressive. Emma's guard went up. Thanks. What do you want? He leaned against his car, casual but calculated. The factory site's for sale. Prime real estate. I'm building condos a mall revitalize Boone. But some holdouts like your neighbor's farm. Thought you might know folks, put in a good word. She laughed bitterly. Revitalize? You mean bulldoze our history? No thanks. His eyes narrowed, but he kept smiling. Think about it. Could use a partner like you. Catering for events. Emma drove off, unease churning in her gut. Something about him felt off like oil on water. That evening at the local diner, Boone's Greasy Spoon with vinyl booths and bottomless coffee, Emma met up with her best friend Sarah Johnson. Sarah, a nurse at the county hospital, slid into the booth, her scrubs wrinkled from a long shift. Heard you turned down Harlan, Sarah said, sipping her coffee. Good call. Guy gives me the creeps. Yeah, Emma murmured, stirring sugar into her mug. Reminds me of Ryan's old boss, always scheming. Sarah's face softened. You still think about that accident? Every day. Flashback. Ryan coming home late, agitated. They're cutting corners, Em. Unsafe equipment. If I speak up. He trailed off, kissing her forehead. The door jingled, and in walked a stranger, tall, broad-shouldered, with tousled dark hair and a 5 o'clock shadow. He scanned the room, eyes landing on Emma. She felt a jolt like static electricity. Who's that? Sarah whispered. No idea. He approached the counter, ordering black coffee. His voice was deep, Midwestern with a hint of something else. Chicago, maybe? As he turned, their eyes met. He nodded politely, but there was intensity there. A story unspoken. Later, as Emma left, he caught her at the door. Excuse me. You Emma Carter. She tensed. Depends who's asking. Ethan Miller. Just moved here from Chicago. Heard you're the one with the magic baked goods. She relaxed a fraction. Guilty. What can I get you? Actually, I'm a carpenter. Saw your ad for help fixing up your kitchen. Expanding. Emma had posted a flyer at the diner, desperate for cheap labor to turn her garage into a proper baking space. Yeah. You interested? He grinned, lines crinkling around his blue eyes. If the pay includes samples. They shook hands, his grip firm, warm. Something stirred in Emma, attraction yes, but caution too. Men like him didn't just appear in Boone. Over the next weeks, Ethan transformed her garage. Hammers echoed as he built counters, installed ovens salvaged from the factory auction. Emma baked beside him, their conversations flowing like dough rising. You're good with your hands, she said one afternoon, watching him sand a shelf. Learned from my dad. He was a builder in the Windy City. His voice dipped. Lost him young. Mom raised me alone. Emma paused, flour sifting through her fingers. I get that. Ryan died 2 years ago. Truck accident. I'm sorry. He set down the sandpaper, meeting her gaze. Must be hard, raising Lily on your own. It is. She swallowed. But baking. It's like he's still here. Ethan nodded, a shadow crossing his face. Secrets keep us going, don't they? What secrets? She teased, but he just smiled mysteriously. As the bakery, Whispers Bakery, named for the soft stories shared over treats, took shape, so did their bond. Stolen glances turned to lingering touches. One night, after Lily was in bed, Ethan stayed for coffee. The air crackled with tension. Why Boone? Emma asked, sitting close on the porch swing. Stars blanketed the Iowa sky, crickets chirping. Needed a fresh start. He hesitated. Bad breakup in Chicago. She cheated. Left me questioning everything. Emma's heart ached. Ryan was my everything. But sometimes I wonder if he had secrets too. Ethan leaned in, his breath warm. We all do. Their lips met, soft at first, then urgent. Fireworks exploded in her chest. Romance after grief, like rain after drought. But suspense lurked. Orders boomed. The community rallied. Old Mr. Walker from down the street brought fresh eggs, trading for bread. The church ladies hosted bake sales. Boone felt alive again. Then the first twist. A break-in at the bakery. Flour sacks slashed, ovens tampered with. Emma arrived to chaos, heart pounding. Who would do this? Sheriff Michael Thompson, Mike's brother. Dusted for prints. Kids maybe. Or competition. But Emma suspected Harlan. She confronted him at his temporary office in the old motel on the highway. You behind this? She demanded. He chuckled, leaning back in his chair. Paranoid, Miss Carter? I want to help Boone, not hurt it. As she left, she overheard him on the phone. Handle the holdouts. Quietly. Doubt gnawed at her. That night, Ethan held her as she cried. We'll fix it, he murmured. Love deepened but secrets surfaced. Flashback. Emma rummaging through Ryan's old boxes in the attic, finding a hidden file, factory memos about faulty machinery, ignored safety reports. Ryan had been whistleblowing. The accident, sabotage? She confided in Ethan. Someone killed him. His face paled. Emma, that's dangerous. But she pressed on, digging. Sarah helped, pulling hospital records. Ryan's autopsy showed inconsistencies, like brake tampering. Suspense built. Harlan's pressure intensified. Neighbors sold land, but Emma rallied them at a town hall meeting in the community center. We can't let outsiders destroy us, she shouted, voice trembling. Applause erupted. Romantic tension peaked. Ethan proposed helping investigate, but his phone buzzed constantly. Calls from Chicago. Who is that? Emma asked. Old business, he evaded. Betrayal loomed. One stormy night, as thunder rattled the windows, Emma followed Ethan to a motel meetup. Hiding in the rain, she saw him argue with a man, Harlan's associate. Heart-shattering, she confronted him later. You're working for him? Ethan's eyes widened. No. Emma, listen. But she fled, tears mixing with rain. Twist. Ethan was undercover. From Chicago PD. Investigating Harlan for corporate fraud. Tied to factory closures across the Midwest. Ryan's death? Collateral in Harlan's scheme, silencing whistleblowers. I came here for justice, Ethan confessed, catching her at the bakery. Fell for you instead. Forgiveness wasn't easy. Family conflict. Lily adored Ethan, begging Emma to trust him. He's like Dad, but here. Climax. Harlan's men torched a neighbor's barn, framing protesters. Emma and Ethan raced to the scene, flames licking the night sky. Sirens wailed as they confronted Harlan in his SUV. You murdered my husband. Emma screamed. Harlan sneered. Prove it. But Ethan had evidence, tapes from Chicago links. A fight ensued. Harlan swung at Ethan, but Emma grabbed a wrench, swinging wild. Harlan fled, but sheriff arrived, cuffs clicking. Harlan arrested. Factory site saved for community use. Whisper's Bakery became Boone's heart. Expanded, employing laid-off workers. Months later, under Iowa's harvest moon, Ethan proposed on the porch. Marry me, Emma. Let's build more than a bakery. She said yes, tears of joy. But bittersweet. Ryan's photo watched from the mantel, a reminder of loss. Boone united, stronger, whispers of strength echoing.